Okay, so trust me, we just gotta. I usually leave a little bit in the beginning. And
Okay, and then you just trim it.
Yeah, trim it.
Okay, so
So
let
you
me
get like a
see. I
countdown.
want to hit 12. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, Internet! Welcome to the first annual 2018's Anime of the Year for the That's a Thing podcast. My name is Kevin Brown, also known as Raylith on the Internet, and with me today I am with myself.
Drew Edwards, also Drew or False on the internet.
Thanks, me, apparently.
Yeah, like I can hear it, like I said in the preamble, but I don't.
Nah, I don't get it.
I'm still a little sick. Maybe we'll sound a little different.
Yeah, that's how we do. That's how we do. Anyway, Crunchyroll did their anime of the year. And, well, I mean, it's fine, but I think it's a little basic. So here at the That's the Thing podcast, we're going to give you that real business of the true anime of the year.
I will say thank you to Crunchyroll for giving us an easy format to follow.
Yeah, no, stealing. This podcast is based on stealing.
No, it's legally distinct. We made changes.
That is true.
What changes are those? You'll find out.
We'll find out. Anyway, without further ado, let's go with our first topic, which is best protagonist. Oh, by the way, to be eligible for this year anime thing, you have to have had an episode premiere and end. And basically, you had to end in 2018. So,
yeah, because I think if ending in the year lets you review it, the work as a whole, whereas premiering in that year, like JoJo's started this year,
yeah,
Golden Wind, but it's not.
It's also already JoJo. Spoiler, I kind of know how JoJo's Golden Wind ends. Yeah. It's good, but it's been out there.
Yeah.
Also, Thunderbolt Fantasy, before this all begins.
Oh, I covered that in the preamble.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I already covered that.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let me just say, my piece, Thunderbolt Fantasy is great. You should always watch Thunderbolt Fantasy. There's going to be a new season 3 coming.
Yep.
So, honorary award goes to Thunderbolt Fantasy of Best Puppet.
Yep.
If there was a Best Puppet show, it would win.
Yeah, sorry, Dark Crystal remake and the Muppets if you would have had something this year.
Anyway, protagonist.
Best protagonist.
This is the best protagonist. How we're going to do it is me and Drew, we agreed on the one, and then we have our own personal one, because that's the easiest way to do it.
Plus, there's only 2, so you can't really debate these.
No. So, best protagonist, we said, was Hisone from Hisomaso, Dragon Pilot. She's great. I love her. She overcomes.
She's a goober.
Yeah, that's important. And that's basically it. What was your best protagonist, Drew?
Before I start, I'm going to say, Kevin, you need to relax and, you sound way too formal, but formal's not quite the right word.
Don't worry about it.
You're too uptight. You need to, goober up yourself.
Nah.
Okay, so my best protagonist of the year is Sword from Garo Vanishing Line.
Why?
He is a kind man, and he is a bad man.
That's pretty good. My protagonist is Kirill from Double Decker, Doug and Kirill, a show that apparently only me, Drew, and 4 other people on the internet watched. But man, Kirill's great. He's a loser. He's stupid, but in a special twist, he might not actually be stupid.
No, he's still stupid.
No,
he's a dumb.
He's great. I love Kirill. He's amazing. He's a wonderful child.
Also known as Rookie, also known as Buzzcut.
Yeah, Buzzcut. He's great. All right. Now, best antagonist. And to me, when you think of evil, there's only one person out there.
I wish we could have Night on Bald Mountain start playing.
But man, it's our good pal Satan. Satan did a lot.
As we know, kids are down with the devil, and Devilman Crybaby proves it.
Man, Satan, you just did a lot, and I respect it. I think you just you did a lot. And so, Drew, did you have a personal best antagonist?
My personal favorite is the manager from Backstreet Girls, that Master Asia-looking Yakuza boss. Manager from Backstreet Girls. I don't remember his name.
No, listen, you're down with the struggle. You guys, trust me, you're not going to be getting names. This is the quality you expect.
Listen, I love Double Decker and I love Thunderbolt Fantasy because they nicknamed their characters for me.
I can't do names.
Most names on this list we had to Google.
Yeah. Mine is the manager from Magical Girl Ore. He's great. He really likes idols, and he went all in. And I respect it when a villain goes all in. And that's all right.
Yeah. Also to note, manager from Backstreet Girls also really likes idols.
Oh yeah, he's great. He really likes idols. I don't like idols, but man, he does. All right, best boy.
Obviously, this is one that Crunchyroll got correct with their nominations.
Yeah, one of the few ones they did.
And we need all you people out there to give your energy to Honda-san.
Skullface bookseller Honda-san.
Best boy.
He's adorable. He's pure. He's a pure, precious little pancake. And you want to keep him safe.
He's out there struggling.
He's living the struggle, having to deal with people who just want their boy's love, and he just wants to survive and help people find good mangas.
So who is your best boy, Kevin?
Oh, mine's Doug from Double Decker Doug. Because, man, Doug is a jerk, but he's also a really good detective. And you'd think that, like, should Doug and Kirill be reversed? And I would think probably, but no. Doug is best boy. I really like Doug. This is the only time I'll ever say that. Drew, what's your favorite?
My favorite is Haru from High School Girl. He is such a twerp, and I love him. And the way he plays those games is how they are meant to be played. He is mean. He is turtling. He is tick throwing. He is doing everything to get that W, and I respect it.
Yeah. He also likes the PC engine. He loves the
Oh man, if only, I'm sure he would pick the Betamax cassette too. He always picks a loser.
Yeah. All right. So, best girl. Who's the best girl of this season?
The best girl is obviously Mickey from Devilman Crybaby, and we mean the witch of whatever their high school is called, the fastest track runner.
Yeah.
Not second place Demon Mickey.
No, not Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We're not entering the Spider-Verse.
I think you mean Spider-Gwen, Kevin.
Yeah, we don't want Spider-Gwen. We want real deal Mickey, who's basically too pure for school, literally. And she was great. That's kind of her point. My personal favorite is Ono from High Score Girl, because she doesn't say anything. She plays Zangief, but you can tell that she's good. She has a good heart underneath. You just gotta get in.
And it's also how emotive and express, like how much she can still express even without like talking.
Yeah.
It's great.
They do a good job with her character.
Yeah.
Drew, who do you like?
My best character is Max from Double Decker.
If you don't know Max, she's the one who drives the motorcycle.
She's Boxer.
Yeah, Boxer. She's great.
So I like her. She drives a cool motorcycle. Her backstory is particularly touching. Most characters are in this show, but she's good. She's good.
All right, best opening. It's JoJo's Fighting Gold. Because have you listened or looked at JoJo's Fighting Gold? It's probably the best JoJo's opening. It has the mixture of amazing song and amazing visuals, which is, what else can you do?
And I know you're thinking, well, didn't you guys say JoJo's is not eligible this year?
Doesn't matter. Fighting Gold's real good. No, I can cheat. Listen, make your own. It's not hard.
My best opening is Cutie Honey Universe. I don't know song names or anything. I feel like I should have, but it's good. It's got a lot of honeys. What else do you need? If that show taught us anything, it's more honey is more power. More power is more honey.
Yeah, that was the moral. Mine's Pop Team Epic. I really, really like that opening. I think that opening is a tone setter for the show, and it's a good opening. The visuals are amazing. Like it's way better than what you would think that show should be, and it kind of it promises something, but we'll see how those promises go later. Best ending, because you gotta have an opening without an ending. And what did you think? What and really, Drew, what's our best ending?
Oh man, it's from France. Hisomaso.
Yeah, that song with them dancing.
That ooh la la.
It's real good.
And also special shout outs for the episode where like just one of them was singing.
I think
Because I think it's normally the cast of girls are singing.
it changes depending on the episode. So like if it really features one of the girls, she'll be the one singing. I think that's how I think.
I think that's a slight exaggeration, but something to that effect is in play in the show.
There's a few of them where they change it.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot.
Yeah.
My personal one is Backstreet Girls. It's very cheap ending, and the song is very like appropriate.
It's heavy.
It's one of the most appropriate looking songs and visuals to a show I've seen in a long time. I like it.
My personal favorite is Double Decker. Also a very cheap ending. It is quite literally just CG models being panned around with occasional cuts to like clips. But the song is good, and most importantly, the posing of these CG models is also very good.
Yeah.
Got all the team in there.
Yeah. So where we're gonna diverge from the old Crunchyroll thing is I really don't care about voice actors at all, so we're skipping them. I didn't watch any anime movies, so we're skipping them. And if I were to give like a director, I don't know that many other than guy who did Devilman Crybaby.
Masaki Yuasa.
Yeah, like I would probably just give it to him
Yeah.
because everyone like, and that's not to say that the directing was bad this season. In fact, I think most of the shows were like quite well done. It's just
What we watched.
the shows we watched.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not gonna watch garbage. Well, okay, I am gonna watch garbage, but I'm not
it's a
gonna
special
finish.
brand of garbage.
I'm not gonna watch like bland garbage.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch like a goo devil dolls that no one watched.
Like obviously, also Megalobox had good direction in it.
Yeah. And it's just Hisomaso's good.
Yeah,
like,
like,
it's just
it's like a good director can make you notice scenes, but I think it's more so a good director doesn't pull you out of the show.
yeah, like you shouldn't be looking. But what like anyway? So instead of that, because we watch all sorts of things, we're gonna go with best old anime we watched this year, and that winner is of course Outlaw Star.
Yeah, Alan Stars still holds up.
It's amazing. It holds up, I think, better than it did when I was a wee lad. I think it has it. We also the winner runners up are like Cowboy Bebop and of course Speed Grapher, near and dear to everyone's heart. And why I would give it to Outlaw Star over Cowboy Bebop is I just think it's more watchable. Like Cowboy Bebop it's good, but it's not as deep as I remember it.
It is a lot more heavy-handed than you think. It's a lot more of Jet Black looking at a watch that's broken and being like, oh man, I guess you need to let go of the past or things go bad.
Or it's a lot more like every episode, which is, I mean, listen, this is good theming, but every episode is purely, all right, Drew's coughing, hold on. I'm leaving this in. I'm leaving it in. We don't add it here. But nah, it's just, I think Outlaw Star thematically is tighter and it's more enjoyable.
I would say Cowboy Bebop is what anime can be. Outlaw Star is what I want anime to be.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable ride. And Speed Grapher is perfect in every single way.
Speed Grapher is a show trying its very hardest to say something. And unfortunately, it does not have the talent to back up that message.
It's trying so hard. Speed Grapher does it is reaching. It is literally like similar to to Megalobox. That wolf, it's howling at the moon.
Yes, it is.
And I respect it. It is stupid, and I love it. I want more speed graphers in my life.
Also, like, if only this was, like, 2002, 2005, then obviously the Schnoz would be best voice.
Schnoz would be best character and best antagonist. Yeah. Anyway,
Speed Grapher, you should maybe consider watching it.
I honestly can't. I both recommend Speed Grapher and then I say never watch Speed Grapher.
Yeah.
Like I give the literally like double-edged sword of you should never watch Speed Grapher, but then I'm gonna lean in real close and whisper you should watch Speed Grapher. All right. Best character design.
Best character design. I think what I've heard the director for Megalobox was an lead art design in anime first.
I have no idea.
I think I've heard that. I'm not 100% sure. Email your corrections to twitter.com/Raylan.
Yeah, just comment in the YouTube. I don't care.
But so it shows. Megalobox looks good. Megalobox feels good.
I think as an updated to the old Joe designs, they do quite well. You can tell that every character looks like who they're supposed to be in a different place. Like Joe looks like Joe, but he's in a cyberpunk future Elysium place. Like Rikishi / Yuri looks like Pops looks like all those people. You can tell like where you get in some of the really good Tezuka stuff when you see the guy and you're like, I know who that is, but he doesn't look different.
And it's not just that; it's also the boxing gloves. I don't know what else to call it, but the boxing gloves in the show look so good. Like Yuri's especially, and that's the point. But they look big and clunky the way they're supposed to, and Yuri's look like they're clearly the best as they're supposed to.
And everyone's every character is, you know who that guy is, and they do their thing, and it works. Visually, that show's a masterpiece.
My best character design stems from my inability to choose best girl, so this is Cutie Honey Universe. All those girls are good girls, and special shout outs to Dragon Panther.
Yeah, Dragon Panther's quite a woman. She's great. Mine is Honda-san. I like how Honda draws both himself and all of his coworkers. I know it's just them in like a mask, but I think it really captures this is kind of when you're working at a retail-y kind of job, how you see all of your coworkers and yourself. It's just some sort of monster with a new head. That's them.
And also, I will add the squiggly versions.
I really do like the squiggly, like Honda.
I can't call it chibi because it's not chibi. It's just like the squeegee, panicked, like, oh no!
From good to bad, but before we go to the best, and this is the most disappointing. This is the most disappointing things of the year.
And this was a year of high highs. Anime has been very good the last few years, and this year continued that.
Anime's going strong. It's basically, I feel like if you want to watch cartoons, you got to watch anime because it's just that's where you're going to get the real stuff.
This is just shows that wrote a check that they could not cash.
And sadly, to me, it's the last episode of Megalobox was the most disappointing thing this year. And if you watched Megalobox without seeing Joe,
we're gonna do spoilers now. If you don't want spoilers for any shows, skip ahead.
This is the only spoiler. Actually, we can talk around it. I think we can talk around.
No, we can't.
Okay, fine. So spoilers for both Joe and Champion Joe, Tomorrow's Joe, but 1 and 2, and Megalobox.
Yeah. If you do not know the ending to Tomorrow's Joe, it's well past the spoiler warning.
Yeah, dude. The whole point is Kamina and Gurren Lagann is in Joe's pose, and it's drawn the same way.
They make full-scale statues of that pose.
Joe dies at the end in the final boxing match. He loses the match, but dies. But he dies as a I almost swore because it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's sad, but and at the end of Megalobox, Joe doesn't die.
The entire season is building towards there is death. Literally the word death.
Every episode.
Abundant.
Someone's going to die. And you see that it's basically it's the man's I gotta go further to do it, and no one understands. We gotta fight. I gotta show everyone, even if it costs everything, put my life on the line. And it ends with like, nah, Joe won.
And he's still able to keep boxing.
Yeah.
Yuri lost and can no longer box.
But
it's also, I will say, the whole season of that show, I was thinking like, well, who are they going to kill? And I was kind of, no matter how I flipped and flopped on it, like, not really satisfied with any answer I found. So they kind of couldn't win. I don't know. Maybe.
It was disappointing.
You do a Rocky 2 ending where when the fight starts, Joe and Yuri both throw a punch and then freeze frames and then credits roll.
Yeah, it to me it misses the point of kind of the sadness of, and I get maybe it didn't want to, but what elevates the first Joe is it's a very melancholy show, and it's not like
it is sad and wistful.
It's a sports anime, but it's a sad sports anime, and that's kind of like
it is an ennui sports anime.
Exactly, but that was the most disappointing thing just overall. And I would say simply due to the quality of the rest of the show was so high.
And also it's riding on the 50th anniversary of Joe.
Yeah, it's basically like it made some bold promises, and then it felt like it was delivering on those promises.
It had a burden on its shoulders that no one should be asked to bear, and it carried it for the most part.
And that's impressive.
Yeah.
It's hard to think of another example unless you're gonna like remake something. Like if you were to make like The Wire 2, but it turns out like, no, you actually did it though.
Yeah.
But you did it like 75%.
Imagine if the new Evangelion movies were good.
Yeah, that's basically it. So there's some runner-ups.
The other disappointing thing, this one's kind of no fault of its own, but they just chose to release another Go Nagai series the same year as Devilman Crybaby. And they also chose, like, well, I guess they didn't choose, but it also had the misfortune of coming out after Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah.
Cutie Honey Universe, unfortunately, like, cannot live up to that.
So when I'm watching Cutie Honey, I was expecting a turn where it was either going to turn similar to Devilman, where everything was going to get real nuts, or like Utena, where I felt like everything's going to get real nuts, and it kind of never happened.
Yeah.
Every episode, I'm like, when's it going to happen? There's going to be a point where this goes from haha joke time to like for real deal, and it kind of never did.
The last episode or two does, but my biggest problem is like the show itself is horny, and that's fine. But the little kid and the old man are too horny.
Those characters are terrible. And you can tell that was from like, haha, this is from like the 70s and 80s. Yeah. Don't you see? And that was disappointing. And keeping segueing along on jokes I think didn't work. I was incredibly disappointed with Pop Team Epic. Because I felt like when I was watching the first 2 or 3 episodes, it felt like anything was possible in that show. That they were just going to go nuts and do, like, every episode was going to be some bizarre thing. But around, like, episode 4 and 5, it became formulaic.
Yeah, because the first few episodes are fine because it's, well, here are the skits we're doing, and they have enough variety in those first few ones where you can maybe see a couple over, but you still get new ones introduced. By 4 and 5, it's like, well, these are all just the same bits again.
Yeah, it's the same. And I was like, oh.
Also, if they would have just completely gotten rid of Bob Team Epic or whatever that one was called.
I thought those were fine.
I thought they were
but
awful.
They should have. Well, it's like everything else in that show. They repeated it too. Like that show, every gimmick should have been done once, maybe twice.
Yeah.
But what they did was they would. Like, you'd be like, oh, here's another one. And
like,
here's another
I
thing.
thought it was going to be a LOL random show.
But the LOL random stopped.
And it just got, like, super formulaic.
It was
I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to say formulaic, but that's what it was.
All right, sorry, Pop Team Epic. Like
I'm not.
I respect you tried, but then I think you claim to be a trash anime, and I didn't believe you. But then at the end, you were.
Yeah. I still say the best way to ingest Pop Team Epic is just random 4 panels that enter your Twitter feed.
I'd say watch Hell Shake Ano.
Yeah, that too.
That's the best that show does. And I wish there was more moments like that in that show. Anyway, now without further ado, yeah, that's fucked up. It's time for Anime of the Year. Our top 5 animes. Drew, what's our number 5 animes?
Number 5 anime comes in with Backstreet Girls. This show is very sad. We love sad things on this cast.
Backstreet Girls is a show that is ostensibly a horror. Okay.
If you don't know, Backstreet Girls are 3 Yakuza who have messed up majorly, and their choices are either to have all their blood drained, all their organs harvested and sold off to try to pay off this massive loss to their clan, or get shipped to Thailand, have a sex change surgery, and undergo idol training.
And it's ostensibly for jokes and laughs, but this show, like, it actually, there's some sense, like, what scares me is identity death. And there's a lot of that in this show where it's kind of like you're stuck. It's a weirdly, and maybe this is just me, but there's some weirdly horrific moments in this show that are like not ostensibly horror, but just like, nah, this is your life now. It's like a bleakness.
Yeah, it's not horror in the sense of like, oh no, Freddy Krueger's gonna get me. It's horror of like, you gotta live with this the rest of your life.
Yeah, you gotta go to the handshake and shake all these losers' hands forever.
Yep.
And that's just it.
What is it? You gotta have a guy who just puts his underwear on the table in front of you and just says, no, I just want to sit here like this for 20 minutes.
It's so like, it's this weird grossness. And it's a great, like, it's animated zero, and it's what I like in cheap anime, where it's a show that would like has almost no appeal, but because it's animated nothing, it's basically a motion comic. I think it just works.
Yeah,
so
and it's the beauty of if something doesn't have a budget, it can be a weird thing because there's not going to be a huge loss if it doesn't hit. Whereas if you sink a ton of money into something, it has to be safe and bland and wide appeal. I'm looking at you, Disney.
And there's some really good jokes in there, like the joke where they have to try to say, all right, you can't have sexual urges anymore. So they put the guy in the closet with pornography and just a dog with a boner.
Yep.
And they just leave him in there for like a week.
Yep.
And he comes out, he's like, never again.
Listen, there's a reason the manager is on the list of best antagonists.
It's amazing.
He's a cruel man.
It's amazing. It's not the most PC show, but it is not. It's
shout out to Netflix for bringing it over.
Yeah,
that's the biggest surprise of the year.
Yeah, I would not expect it. But on another surprise,
number 4, Kevin,
is number 4. It's Double Decker Doug and Kiriel. This show apparently is a spinoff to Tiger Bunny, which I watched like the first episode, didn't like it, and I watched the first episode of this show, and I adored it. It's goofy and fun, and the characters are great, and the show is constantly, we described it, it's constantly like just switching into a reverse, where you think something's going to happen or the way things work.
It's doing heavy plays on tropes you are familiar with.
And then it just pulls the lever and goes, nah, that's not how it works.
That's not how it
almost works. Every episode involves multiple times someone thinking they're going to do something anime and cool, and then everyone else says, like, nah, that guy's an idiot.
And it's quite literally the narrator saying, no, that's an idiot.
And it's great. I think a lot of people slept on Double Decker, and hopefully, it's all on Crunchyroll. You can all watch it. You should. It's a wonderful, wonderful show, and I think it actually uses CG well. It uses its CG for its fight scenes, so you can actually have a lot of interesting angles. I didn't think it was out of place. Like
You can tell when they switch to CG, but it's also like when they switch to CG, that means, well, it's about to get real.
Yeah, like they use it for fights.
Yeah.
And I think that it's probably the second best use of CG
Also,
in this year.
Spoiler, we love CG in anime and budget anime.
Yeah, like if
We will watch it if it's those two things, because that means it probably does not look like your generic anime.
yeah, so that's for another episode is what I consider a good anime. But we'll get that. Listen, I got these stupid podcasts forever now.
Forever.
Drew, tell us about Hisomaso Dragon Pilot.
I mean,
Dragon Vor the anime.
Yeah. Listen, before this show started, I would have told you I don't understand Vor. Now I understand Vor. There's this love and this bonding of two different organisms coming together. And I still don't think that's hot, but I understand it, and maybe even I respect it. Okay, I won't go that far.
No, it's great. It's a wonderful little military kind of lighthearted drama about a girl and her dragon. It's if you like, it's interesting because it's about dragons and the dragons turn into airplanes, but it's also
about a young girl's heart,
about kind of relationships and dealing with people, and how what that entails and what responsibilities, and it's a show that it goes places. And also, like...
Yeah, your basic premise is, like, only girls who are broken in some way can be a pilot for a dragon. So naturally that lends itself to, well, there's going to have to be some development on these characters and where they go.
And spoiler, and it goes places, and it's great. It's a good show.
There's some good love triangles.
Yeah, there's some real good. Oh man, there's some moments.
Also, shout out to Hisomaso. Also nicknames its characters, so I don't have to learn their names.
Yeah, there's great, and the dragons are really, really cute.
Yep, I want some figures of them.
I want a lot of them. All right. Speaking of really, really cute, Drew, what's our runner-up anime?
Number 2, nothing says cute like the devil.
Yeah, it's Devilman Crybaby. Started the year off strong.
You have one of the most beloved classic series in anime by one of anime's strongest creators, and being like reinterpreted by one of the modern masters of the medium.
It's effectively it's number 2. Because I think it's almost perfect. I think in terms of storytelling, like every aspect of that show
hits effectively a 10,
and it enhances each. The soundtrack is amazing. I still listen to Devilman OST a lot. I like the visuals enhance everything. The characters enhance, and I feel it's the proper way to adapt something from the 70s and where you're taking the core, but you're cutting some of the old chaff. Like
it's also you're taking like a old Go Nagai work who is like very much I would describe him the same way like Rob Liefeld is here. Where like he's doing this big stuff and like emotionally and rawness it's coming through and the story is good, but it's also like
There's times. There's the time show.
I don't even mean that. I just mean like there's parts of it where it's like here's this new character that like Rio. No, that's the blonde boy.
To me, it's the old man and there's a little bit of that. I'm kind of trying to copy Tezuka.
No, I was gonna say like there's just stuff where it's like, well, this character just got introduced. And now she's been like captured by the demon, like the turtle. So they made smart choices, being like, well, instead of like this girl who used to be his neighbor, who now came for a visit, and oh no, a devil ate her, is now just like no, it's his parents, and it makes a lot more sense. It's a lot more emotionally impactful. It's just it's tightened up the writing where it needed it.
Yeah. it's you got something good. You Ghost in the Shelled it. Where
Yeah,
you
you had a good editor.
You edited it properly.
Yeah.
Because if you take raw Ghost in the Shell, it's bad.
I don't think it's bad. It's just different.
I will say for me, I cannot handle undiluted Ghost in the
Oh.
Shell. I like it in standalone complex and movie form. Like,
Oh, so you like Ghost in the Shell too?
no, I did not care for that one. I like, but anyway, it's all right. Anyway, number one anime of the year, which I think I've said multiple times.
It's High Score Girl.
It's High Score Girl.
Whereas Devilman has like a 10 and everything, High Score Girl has a couple 8s or 9s, but it has an 11.
It has. High Score Girl hit me real hard, and it hit me hard on a lot of levels. I think it's probably the best CG anime I've seen because it's used it effectively, where the CG models make everyone sort of look like video game characters, and they kind of edit the face textures similarly to Mega Man Legends, where it's like a flat text.
CG has gotten good enough that it's not
like
distracting.
Yeah, and I think, and also because of that, like it just all the arcade cabinets are CG and looks the same, and then they use the actual in-game footage.
That is one of the strongest parts of the visuals of this show is that they can just have the game running,
and they'll have like the game elements interact with the CG element, and it looks like when Pixel Guile comes out to give talks to Haro. And you're like, in an anime that would look kind of weird, but because it's CG, it kind of looks like it meshes very well.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, okay.
It's also like the first episode hits me when they explain what take throwing is.
Yeah, like it's in there.
And it shows a love and an understanding for these games that
not many.
I almost no other show has done.
And it feels like
it's also unfair because it's mostly focusing on fighting games a whole lot, and that's my jam.
Well, it's fighting games, arcade, but it hits a really strong romance and like coming of age, and it hits me because it tricked me into watching those shows. Normally, I don't like them. You have to have like a premise. Like Hisomaso had dragons, so I watched it, and then I got like I'm the kind of person where I will not watch a romance or a drama unless you trick me into it with something. So like if it's just here's these people falling in love, I'm like but it's like here's these people falling in love in an arcade, then I'm like ooh okay, but then once you got me in.
Can her hot-blooded SPDs from Zangief break through his guile, cold defensive turtling?
And I like, and then I forgot her name. Blonde. I like her a lot. Her development is amazing, and it continues to go. It's great. It's still ongoing.
His mom is a great character. I haven't seen a mom this good since Metabots.
Yeah, I even like that a lot of like the friends you see in elementary school kind of evolve and change with them, where it's because the characters actually grow up over the years. You do see them. We're like, this guy was kind of a rival and kind of, and then they mellowed out.
Yeah, they're just kind of buddies.
Now they're just kind of hanging out because they're in the same class. They go to the arcade, and he's like, yeah, okay, I get it. And also, it's just it meshes the magical time of youth with the magical time of Street Fighter 2.
Also, they've confirmed the last 3 episodes are coming as an original net animation.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that 2019's anime of the year is High Score Girl.
If it go, so I read the manga and I
did not.
I will just say, not as a spoiler, but quality does not go down. Like. You are safe. You are not going to get one of those points where, let's see the next arc and it just goes into the dumpster. No. Quality it's still there. Maintains. And stuff happens, and that's it. So that's the end. Watch High Score. Basically, if we talked about it, watch it. That's all in some way.
2019 has just started with a slew of anime. Watch Mob Psycho 2.
Yeah.
Watch Cake Guru XX.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Pretty much, I will say, we'll do another anime show.
Oh, I don't know what. Like for what to watch? Or
Yeah, just like a preview.
Oh man, that's weird.
Or like watch
was gonna give
episode
some
1 after
shout-outs.
everything. Because Oh, I will say, I didn't watch Gridman. I thought it was boring.
Yes. Oh, I forgot. Like,
No, this is just the end. All right, we need the end. We need the end.
Yeah, we
This
need
has
the
gone
end.
for 40 minutes. So that's it. If you had your own anime, comment it or tweet it at us. I don't know what the next episode's going to be. It'll probably be like, if I want to hear your people's questions, I'll ask for them.
if you have a topic you want us to talk about,
Tweet me.
yeah.
Or put it in the comments. That's fine too. I do look at those. Anyway, that's it. Anime's going pretty good. See ya. Bye.
Bye. Later days.